All right, good morning, guys. Today is Wednesday, July 19th. And as always, we'll be going over analysis for US 30, gold, and EU. So the only trade I'm in, the only two trades I'm in right now is the US 30 reversal on the 5-minute time frame. So we had the area of interest down here, and then we had the, what is it called? We had the 500 pip threshold. So this sell right here was invalid because it came within the before 500 pips were met. This second sell as well was invalid. Now this third sell after it came after the 500 pip threshold. Now the only issue with this that I had seen, and this was because it was towards market open, was this region right here. Because when you identify a trend, this is what you want to see: price remaining consistently the above or below the 9 EMA. But another reason I entered this trade when I went to the 15-minute time frame, that gave me a clearer trend where you didn't have a lot of 15-minute candles closing above or below, below the 9 EMA. So I just put those two together and I went ahead and entered that. So right now the trade is currently in drawdown about 50%. This trade I sent out in the Discord with a 1% risk. So this is the only trade I sent out. Gold, I'm in a gold. I entered gold yesterday, also based off of the reversal indicator. So for gold right here, this is the gold trade that I'm currently in. It came about 80% in profit, but personally, I'm still in this gold trade. Same thing, right? Area of interest, 150 pips threshold for gold, which was met already, and this sell came up. So this is what I like seeing. As much as this trade came back to around the entry area, I like seeing the cells, or let's say right now I'm in a cell. I like seeing the cells, right, showing up around my area of interest. So I'm still gonna hold onto this trade. So for me nowadays, it's either TP or stop loss. No in between. So the other one, right, we can see is EU. I'm not in the EU trade. I just marked this up yesterday. The reason I didn't enter EU was because I was already in gold and both of them are correlated. So I didn't want to overexpose myself. But the EU trade, this entry would have been based off of the break and retest of this static trend line right here. So you can see this candle, this hourly candle broke this static trend line, and then this next candle retested and closed below. So that would have been the entry right there. Nowadays with FX pairs, I do 50 pips TP and 50 pips stop loss. However, I am not in this EU trade. I just marked it up for my own following. However, if the gold trade had hit TP and EU would have been here right now, I would have entered right here. But since I'm in the gold trade, I don't want to overexpose myself with trades that are correlated. US 30 is coming back down. So US 30, other than the reversal indicator, the other reason I entered the sell, or I sent out the sell, you can see based off of the breakout indicator, right, we were running all out of the buy momentum. Price had started coming back down towards the sell area. And right now they're just right there, literally struggling to hold this buy up because the momentum had already shifted from that breakout. So I was anticipating a sell breakout. So that was another confluence I had. The crosses indicator didn't really give me a confluence for a sell. As you can see, all of this buys so far would have been in profit. So the crosses indicator wasn't really telling me much. Also, I didn't have any, there was no order blocks, whether it's a bearish, whether it's a bullish order block. There's no order block currently where price is, other than the 15-minute bearish high and low, which I really don't trade by itself. So this is a region right here to look for. If you have any other confluences for a sell, this is a region right here to observe. What am I looking for? I'm looking for this supply zone right here. So between 35,053 and 35,041, if we do close below here, below that region, and get a retest and closure below, hopefully we should get something to push price down. So as much as I see all these buyers or these demand zones right here, right? For me, I always ask myself, what can these buyers use to prop price up? So for me right now, I'm still biased for a sell on US 30, and I'm literally looking at this region right here, 35,050. But since I'm already in that sell, I'm not going to scale in or anything. I'll just find it as an additional confluence to stick to my trade. Also looking up, sure, right? US 30 can pump all the way to 35,700, right? That's the next area for to test the static trend line on the hourly time frame. So definitely can keep shooting up. But currently, for me, this is what this is what I'd be expecting here. Then move here, and then move back all the way down till somewhere in October or September, probably come down here. And then in October or September, have that recovery to the upside to probably close the year at the all-time high. So this is what I would be expecting based off of how US 30 has moved in the last 3 years. I would be looking for sales between now and October or September, and then longs after then. So the question is, are the sales going to come right now, or is it going to push up right here and drop before then? Does anybody have any questions? So those are the only two trades I'm in right now: gold sell and US 30 sell. Let's see if anything else major is breaking out. So yeah, I don't trade those FX pairs. I'll turn off this zones. Let me see if there's, yeah, but I hate when markets don't have any blocks for me to use. But yeah, today this is just another waiting game. So I don't see anything to even trade or analyze further besides what I've already done. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to go ahead and ask them. And hopefully I'm not muted. So for this particular US 30 trade, similar to gold, right? So if I were to get stopped out on this gold trade, so remember, based on the analysis yesterday, we still have this trend line to the upside for gold that will probably get retested. So around 1990, 2000 area. Also check out how this trend line to the bottom again has not yet been retested. So this is like the situation we were in yesterday, and we caught that buy to the upside. So right now, gold is no man's land. It's ideally between these two trend lines. I don't have any order blocks for right now. Let's see the crosses indicator. I know that's what we used to enter a buy yesterday, but I wouldn't be pushing anything with the crosses indicator because the buy we took yesterday was the fourth buy on gold. So there is an entry right here on gold. However, I'm not going to trade this based off of the crosses indicator as much as it has a high win rate, because ideally I've already exhausted the first 3 to 4 trades. The fourth trade yesterday hit TP. But if you are looking for longs on gold and you are looking for an additional confluence, this right here is a confluence for that long. However, right, just know based off of the crosses indicator, this is not a trade that would be valid on that. I don't know why my Zoom is. Give me 1 second. Let me try and figure something out with Zoom. Okay, Yeah. So I'm not even gonna mark it up, but if you have additional confluences other than what I normally provide right here, this right here, you do have a buy entry right there. Let's see for gold based off of the breakout scanner. Another way I use the breakout scanner, I try to use it to see momentum. So if something has been buying or selling for like 2 or 3 days and price is exhausting and price is coming back to the opposite side where it would give the opposite signal, then I can use that. But right now, if I were to analyze gold based off of the breakout scanner, I would say this is pointing to a sell because you had this whole move up from this breakout buy at the bottom. And then you had this whole move up for that's 55, around 55 to 85. So that's a 300 pip move on gold. And then you can see how it started exhausting this move, right? And started coming back into this consolidation zone, tried to give another buy breakout, but wasn't able to do that. And then tried to give a sell breakout, wasn't able to do that. This was during, I can tell this was during Asia session. Because this is just a bunch of consolidation on gold. So right now, gold is in that consolidation and ranging period. So it can break out to the upside and give another buy, but based off of looking back to the left of the chart, to me, this whole buy has been exhausted. So they would need to pick up liquidity somewhere else. And looking at the zones and markups indicator, the first stop I see for gold is 1955. That's the next best area. They can pick up liquidity to pump gold back up to maybe the all-time highs. And looking at 1955, what lines up with 1955? 1955 would line up with the 200 EMA eventually on the hourly time frame, or line up with this trend line to the upside. So that would be my analysis for gold. And you can see around that 1955 area, we do have buyers there. The other issue, we do have this daily bearish high. So you can remember for the last few days, gold was trapped between 1962 and 1956 for like 3 days. So the other issue with that part is this daily bearish high. So for me, I think if gold does come back to 1960, we might see even a further drop back down. But for right now, since I'm in sales, I'm satisfied if gold comes back to 1956 because I would have already hit take profit for the sell that I'm in. All right. Any questions from anyone?
The trend line that you drew, the first trend line on the right, that's pointing to the upside.
For gold, for US 30 here?
Is that gold? I
No,
think it's
this
gold,
US
yeah.
30. For gold, this one right here.
Yeah. No, the three on the top.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. When did you draw those? Was that before?
No, I
Like,
drew them Friday towards the end of June. So end of June or first week of July. Because when I drew this
yeah,
one, it had to have established at least the lower low and high low. So I think it had established here. So I think I drew it like 3rd July. So what was that? 2 weeks ago? Yeah.
yeah. This, yeah. So the what's it called? Yeah. So those, the one on the top, the yeah, that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
so
When
that
did you
was
draw that?
from way, way back. So if I had to retrace that, it would have to be, oh, this is the daily. This is a daily. This is a daily one. So if you go on the daily, right here, you'll see, I'm almost sure it's the daily, or maybe it's not. Yeah, it is the day. What are we on? Yeah. So it's probably this one, from this lower low to this lower low right here.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the one you're, is it that one? No, no, no. Maybe,
Is it on the hourly?
No, this is the daily. I don't think I drew it on the, I mean, I can't, because I tried
Yeah.
retracing it and it kept going further and further. Let me go back to the hourly and see. Maybe it was, so it's what, this topmost one?
Yeah.
Okay, no, it is, it looks like the daily. No, this would have had to be the daily because this is, it started on November 22nd. So it's, if it's November 22nd, then I must have drawn it on the daily time frame. Yeah, so it's probably from this. Yeah, it's the daily time frame. If I get it
Okay.
correctly, let me remove this. So I can't really trace it whether it's, because it's definitely to the top. So it's either this one right here. I don't know, maybe daily or 4 hour, but it came from what, 1620? Is that where it came from? Yeah, it came from
Okay. Yeah.
1620. Yeah, so it's the daily from this lower low to this lower low right here. I didn't want to draw it through this high low because it would have cut through candles. So it's the daily time frame from this lower low right here to this other lower low right here. So from the lower low at 1620 to the lower low at 1936. So yeah, I drew that on the daily time frame. Similar to US 30, where we do have one major trend line on the daily time frame that has not been retested yet, and which is why I'm expecting US 30 to drop. This trend line right here, this
Yeah.
lower low to this lower low. I mean, US 30 did form another lower low right here, but we have this major trend line on the daily time frame for US 30 that I anticipate it getting retested sometime in the future. Yeah, but sometimes, so like days where I don't have any trades, let's say like today, right? And I'm looking like I don't have any hourly trend lines anywhere close to price. Normally go back to the 4 hour and see maybe if there's a trend line and maybe the daily time frame. And sometimes I'll find one trend line on the daily, which if I drew it, it would give me a trade to enter maybe that day or the next day.
Okay.
Yeah, so US 30 is pumping. Gold is still stuck, so this is this only trade. Yeah, and if it does hit stop, it's like what, 60% in drawdown. So if it does hit stop loss, I mean that's fine. I'll just, now if it does hit stop loss, I'll just move to the 15-minute time frame and do the same thing. Move to the 15-minute time frame on the reversal indicator and find that entry and find a sell entry. But yeah, so that's a trade I'm in, and I'm in gold. All right, any other questions? Okay, if not, I will see you guys tomorrow. If you have any questions, you can always ask in the Discord. So currently we have what? So currently this month, we have a 2% return in just 2 trades alone. If this US 30 does hit stop loss, that would be -1 and would take us back to 1% for the month of July. But it's nothing to worry about. There'll always be entries multiple times during the week or the month. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out in the Discord. And I will see you guys tomorrow. All right, trade safe. Bye.